Let's talk about socks. Hey everyone, it's Natalie, also known as Knitty Natty, and today we are taking a sock tour through my sock drawer. I did one of these last year around the same time, so there have been many more socks knitted since then, and this was a requested video that several of you wanted to see, so I figured why not? I will take you on a tour through all of the socks that I have knitted that are still in my possession. Don't worry, we're gonna keep it quick and fun. I'm gonna start out by showing you all of the new socks that I've knitted in 2021. It's currently the end of August 2021, so I've knit quite a few socks this year. We'll go really quickly through all of the socks that I have in my drawer. You saw those bags there in the beginning, and then I'm gonna be answering a lot of your questions that were posted on Instagram about socks in general, and there are some really good ones. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It is a stormy, cozy day outside right now, so grab a mug of something great and let's get started. So far in 2021, I have knit 11 pairs of socks, which I think is pretty great. Considering we're only 8 months into the year, I feel really good about that. I have mostly knit socks this year, but that will come later when I do a year in review. So going backwards, we're going to start with the pair I completed most recently. I have finished 5 pairs of socks this month. I did not start 5 pairs of socks this month. Actually, I don't think I started, well, I have a whip. But anyway, so I've got my computer in front of me. All of my sock projects are on Ravelry. I am not going to go through and link every single project that I'm showing today, but I will link my 2021 socks for you specifically. Anything else, think of it like a game. You'll have to go on a search through things. So these are my most recent finish. They're a vanilla sock with a fish lips kiss heel, and these are Yarn O'Clock Tropical Flamingo. I knit these I started them on vacation and finished them very recently. Then I finished this pair, also a vanilla sock but with an afterthought heel. These are Tia's Terrific Threads 12 feet deep. Again, all of these were finished this month because I had a lot of wrapping up loose ends to do, literally. These are so cool. These are the color palette socks. Come on, thought I clicked on it. The color palette socks are by Laura Muratz, and I adapted them a lot. I put the notes in my Ravelry project page, and I use Moonglow Yarn Company in the Sharktastic Summer Sock set. Here's another Shark Week set. There's a lot of noises going on outside today. Suburban Stitcher, Beneath the Surface, vanilla sock with a fish lips kiss heel. And then these are my, I'm forgetting the name, hold on. Yes, String of Hearts socks by Maddie Hobbs. There's a right and a left sock. Oh yeah, those look really good. So these are really a lot of fun to make. And the yarn is from Arkansas Yarn Company, and it's kind of like Maddie's color. So love these. So those are all finished just in August. I think, yeah, just in August, super recently. And then the rest of the year, I also did 5 pairs of socks. Well, I did 6, but 1 pair was a gift, so I don't have them with me. So let me go back to my notes here. Okay, so these are Stitched Together Studio in Irresistible. These I'm planning to give to my mom for Christmas, so I knit them a little bit wider and a little bit shorter for her. And then I promise I'm not going to go through every sock like this, just this year's. I made a pair of shorty socks for my brother's girlfriend. This is in the color Music Row from Big Sky Yarn Company. And when I do my shorty socks, I just do I think I do 12 rounds of the leg and 8 rounds for the cuff. And it makes a really great no-show shorty sock. I love this yarn, it's so fun. I'm having to go into my Ravelry notes because I don't remember all of them. These I called the road trip socks. Oh, you know why? Because these I started when we started driving to New York from Texas. So these are my New York to Texas socks. I knit on these. I have a really fun reel where I knit on these all across the country, excuse me. And these are Long Dog yarn in the colorway Coral Crush just 2 more. Going back, these I knit in February of this year from Spectacular Yarns. It's a one-of-a-kind colorway. Super bright, super fun. Oh yeah, in the beginning of the year, I was pretending that I was gonna do a year-long knit-along with the rainbow sock along. Yeah, didn't keep up with that, but that's okay, I knew that. And then these, I believe, were my January socks. Sunrise Fiber Company and Briar Rose. So those are the socks that I've completed just this year in 2021. So I thought it might be a fun game. I'm gonna put my computer aside and I am gonna show you all of my other socks real briefly. I'm not gonna talk that long about them, and we'll just see if I can remember anything about them. Now might be a good time to guess how many pairs of socks that you think I have. Your prize is glory. Your prize is being right. If you want to put a number down in the comments and then watch to the end and see, I think that might be fun. I'm gonna guess that I have 70 pairs of socks. That's gonna be my guess. I have no idea. That might be overdoing it. Probably between 60 and 70. Oh, I just noticed there's a couple just sitting out on their balcony. It's not raining currently, but it was. Guess they're just waiting out the storm. All right, let's see what's in here. I'm just gonna start pulling stuff out and showing it to you just for fun. I remember that these are Malia Made It because they are from Shark Week 1 year. These, oh my gosh, see how fuzzy they are? These are some of my very first socks because these are the monkey socks by Cookie A. And if you've been knitting socks for a long time, you remember Cookie A. And look, I did a heel flip and gusset because that's how I used to knit my socks. These are yarn that I actually dyed myself from a sock blank, and they are a Christmas color, so I'll bring those out at Christmas. These are a Hufflepuff colorway. Those turned out really pretty. Oh, there's a question later. I'm gonna set these socks aside to answer the question. You can probably guess what it is. These are some really fun Halloween socks. I won't say anything else yet. These are really cool because they are custom dyed from Rain's Obsessive Stitchery, and they are my Dallas Stars socks. I still have a couple skeins of the Dallas Stars yarn that I'm just kind of holding on to. Oh, this one's actually one of my own designs. These Scraptastic socks, they're really fun because they're like reversed pearl on the outside there. Really loved all of these colors together. That was really great. Okay, we've got some Lolo Did It. This is an interesting length here. I don't know what this is all about. It's like a normal cuff and then like probably 20 rounds for the leg. I'm not sure if I've worn these before, to be perfectly honest. I think these are another Lolo. Oh, left that air on, I forgot. There we go. I turned my lights on to my little, I have little fairy lights here, and you still can't see them. I thought maybe it was going to be dark enough. But this is another Lolo Did It yarn, and the interesting thing about these socks is I remember I finished them. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. I finished them, and I guess for some reason, I needed them to be dry, and so I brought them with me to work, and I left them blocking in the front dash of my car. I left the windows cracked so that the moisture could escape, and as you know, we lived in Texas. Can you see the difference in brightness between this sock and this one? I don't know if it's showing that great. There is a distinct difference between side one of the socks, the side that was against the blocking board, and side two of the socks. Because I left them in the sun for a full work day and it faded them. So lesson learned, do not leave socks or anything in the dash of your car in the hot sun. I remember these socks, they are the pattern of Boliviate. They've got a beautiful cable on the back. I made mine pretty short, but they are super pretty. What else we got in here? Oh, we've got some mustache yarn. She always has really fun self-striping. These are, I think they were called like apple picking or something like that. Don't really remember. Oh, here's another pattern sock. This one I do not remember. I do not recall. These look really small. I wonder if I've worn these. It is pretty rare for me to do a patterned sock, so I don't really remember that. I'm gonna set these aside for a second. Actually, no, I'll show them right now. These are, oh yeah, classic. Some Regia yarn. Love that. I'm gonna set those aside because those are special as well. Here's another one from Mustache. And these are really cool because they're based on a book series and the length of the book, so that's pretty fun. This yarn, my friend Rebecca gave to me, and I'm blanking on the company name right now, but I think it's a really fun colorway. She was in like a rainbow club, and she was like, I've heard too much rainbow yarn. And I was like, I'll take some off your hands, no problem. This is Tia's Terrific Threads, and it is from Sockmas last year. That's really pretty. So I like that it has pink in it because I like pink, but also it doesn't make it too Christmassy, I think. Oh, these are socks that my friend Brooke knit for me. And so I love them even more. Plus I would never pick these colors, and I really like them though. Like I would never pick them for myself or knit with them, but I really found that I enjoy them. So I like that when like other people make stuff for you, it kind of takes you out of your comfort zone. There's something special on these. Oh yes, at the toe, there's like a pearl, like a reverse stockinette, kind of like a V, which I think is just a really cute little touch. I don't know what that pattern was because these weren't mine, but I don't know, we might have to ask her. Oh, let's see. We've got more Lolo Did It with a nice pink pop heel. We've got some really chunky, this yarn was so chunky. So chunky. 80/20. I knit it on a size 2. It's called something about donuts. That's all I remember. Oh geez. We're almost to the bottom of the first bag, and the first bag has way more than the second bag, so you're doing great. We're only at 6 minutes. Or 7 minutes on this segment here. These are another mustache, and I just did like a really simple slip stitch on this. The leg is really long because the color repeat is that long. It's like 20 rows. Wow, I wonder if those even fit on my legs. It looks like I've worn them. These I think are from a dyer that no longer dyes anymore, but they are so, so pretty. We've got more, I think this was Malia. Was this a sock week one? I think this was a sock week one from last year, I think. And these are called Color Run. I love these because they're like a mismatched pair, which I think is so fun. And I also made my brother the same color, but with I think black or dark gray or charcoal or something as the heels, toes, and cuffs. So we have matching socks or identical-ish socks. And here's another one from Malia with one of her really cool patterns. I don't remember what it's called, but I tested it for her and that was great. Okay, we made it to the end of the first bag. Let's quickly go through the second bag. You said you wanted to see the socks, so I hope this is interesting. I hope. Again, everything's linked in my Ravelry page, but I'm only gonna like individually link the socks from this year down in the description box, or else we'd be here like forever. And I'm not counting. I'm going to count here in a second. These I think are Yarn Hoarder colorway. I miss the Yarn Hoarder. I loved her podcast. She was so awesome. My one and only crochet socks. Now I remember these are definitely from Sock Week last year. So yeah, I haven't worn these. More on that later. Oh, I've got some great looking Christmas. Oh, yes. Okay. These I remember knitting from a sock blank, and they match. You know how they like go from red to green and white, but they are toe socks. Also, I guess I didn't know how to cast on, or, oh, this is some kind of special cast on. It's like one of those, maybe it was like what's it called? Not provisional, tubular, but it's really tight. These are from a while ago, but what I was getting at is they are toe socks. Ah, freaking toe socks. And there's a right and a left, and I will probably never knit toe socks again because I remember it being such a pain, but they are cute and I tend to wear them every single Christmas just for fun. And then I've got there's a lot of Christmas socks in here. I wonder why they aren't all together. I think I kind of have them by color. So these are Arne and Carlos, like a Regia. Is it Regia? Arne and Carlos partnered with some company, and I knit those. I do like those a lot. And then I have another one. I just made them short. Yeah, those are really fun. So like wintry, aren't they cute? And they're really short. What the heck? What? Well, I don't even know why I made them like that. That's super weird. I don't remember. There must have been a good reason. Surely. Molly Klein Design, Sock Week 2020. These are one of my first patterns. This is one of my first 40-yard dash. If you look close in the texture, there's little like oval-like things that are meant to be like footballs. And these ones were for the Tennessee Volunteers, my college. It's got rib on the back. It's like a fun textured pattern. And I've got another pair of those that I knit in like inverse of each other. You can really see the footballs on that gray one. So those are really fun. 40-yard dash if you want like a football like pattern to do. And then we're almost to the end. Malia made it. How many pairs of these did I make? I thought I had I know I have a crochet. I thought I already pulled another pair out of here. Did I? I have to go through them. No, they were this one. Oh, that's so funny. They're kind of have some of the same color. Oh, no, they're not. No, they're not that similar now that I look at them together. This must have been something totally different, and this is the Sock Week one. So that's funny. I do tend to gravitate towards stuff like that, but I just realized that I pulled the last skein of self-striping sock yarn that I have out, and because I was doing a swap with our membership, we did a swap, and I sent half. We did a share pair swap, sorry, words. And I sent half of it, my last self-striping skein to her. And I'm like, wow, I don't have any self-striping yarn. That's super unusual. More Malia made it. This is my pattern, Baubles and Bezors. Looks like we got 3 left. Oh, this is another one of my patterns. I think all the pink ones are together and they're like, a lot of them are my patterns. This is, Scraptastic Luxe, because you hold mohair with it. I haven't worn these a lot, but I have worn them a little and they kind of pill a bit, but they're really soft and warm. And I just remember, I don't remember who makes these, like Hawaii Bazaar or something like that, but I remember that the color was after a dog and I was like, yep, sold. Love dogs. I'm into that. All right, last one. These are really fuzzy. These are, I think these are Mustache too. Super pretty. Love that rainbow. All right, let me count them. I'll be right back. Well, I was a little overestimating. Make sure you have your sock number in your head or written down in the comments because I'm about to reveal how many pairs of socks I have. I really do, like, I've knit more socks than this. Not that it even matters how many socks you've made, but just like, I think my number was coming from the socks that I've knit, but not the socks that I currently have. So here's the number, drum roll, 47. Currently in the room, there are 47 pairs of hand knit socks. 2 are going to be gifts, so I guess there's 45 pairs in my drawer. So, you know, 1 for every day for a month and a half. But socks that are hand knit are wonderful because they're made of wool. They actually don't need to be washed every single time that you wear them. They just need to be like aired out, and they will dry. I mean, I have sweaty feet, so mine get wet, but they will dry, they will not be stinky, all of that. I think I remember that Molly of a Homespun House says she wears her socks 17 times. I probably wear mine 4 or 5 times before I actually wash them. That's one of our questions too, so I will share more details in just a second. Okay, so we have some good questions here from Instagram. I kind of took like the top ones and I'm going to share answers to them. So the first question that I saw a couple times was your favorite pair versus your least favorite pair. So let's talk about my least favorite pair. I'm sure it won't come as a surprise to you to find these are my least favorite pair of socks. Last year, I believe it was, I had a time knitting these socks, and it's because they have uneven stripes. And I was trying my hardest to find the repeat. Like, I'm okay if the stripes aren't even. I have other socks I love where the stripes aren't even, but there's a pattern that repeats over and over again, even though the stripes may not be the same size. With these socks, I could not find that. And I can't even remember, oh, you know what I ended up doing? So I actually tried knitting them one Halloween, because these are very Halloween colors to me, and I couldn't get it to work, so I just ended up ripping them out. It was the year that the Crazy Sock Lady released the Do-Si-Do pattern. Can you believe it's been 2 years since that? And then the following year, I tried just with vanilla socks, and I was like so frustrated. And somebody, I think, gave me this suggestion, but what I ended up doing was knitting a tube. I just knit a straight up tube, and I was able to find sections of repetition where I was able to cut into that tube and put in heels, cuffs, and toes. So that gave me 2 matching socks. And it is important for me to have matching socks because I'm just like that. But now they're great and I love them, and the yarn is wonderful and the dyer is great. I just know that I need to watch out now for uneven stripes because it's going to create a lot of tension for me in my knitting life. But now I love them, and I haven't worn them yet because I completed them last year after Halloween. So maybe I will get to wear them here since it'll probably be cold enough in October. My favorite pair of socks are these. I mean, it was really hard to choose. All of my socks are amazing. I think, like, well, in my opinion, I think they're amazing, but these are super fun. These are mustache yarn. I did my own I saw somebody do this on their socks and I said, how did you do that? And they said, knit 3, slip 1 every other round. I'm like, cool, done. So I did that, and I think this has to be one of the first times that I did the Fish Lips Kiss heel, because I put in a solid heel, and look, there's those couple rounds there that are of this color and not the stripe, which is interesting to me. So that's kind of funny. It was before I knew how to put in a Fish Lips Kiss heel with a contrast yarn and not get that band across the top. Anyway, mustache yarns, I looked it up and I knit these socks. I started them May 29th of 2017 and completed them September 8th of the same year. So yeah, oh, no, I'm sorry. These are not Fish Lips Kiss heel. Apparently I was doing a pattern, I was borrowing a heel from a pattern called Cable Ship. And I said as a note in Ravelry, I realized that in the pattern you knit across the instep twice, so I won't be using it again for striped socks. To remedy this, I've done an extra 2 rounds with the pink heel yarn, so I'd get a matching 4-round stripe. Oh, interesting. So I guess I did do that. Yeah, that's what I did. I knit more rounds down here to kind of have that blend in. How very interesting. Very interesting. So yeah, that must have been the different heel I was trying out. The color, I believe Stacy still dyes this color, is called Kama Sutra. Yeah, fun. And it really is just such a beautiful colorway. I don't think I've ever knit socks this long again for myself because this took a long time. Bless you if you have somebody in your life who loves really long sock legs, because that is a lot of work. Okay, so the next question is, that I saw several times, was how do you store your socks? So I'm gonna put in a little clip here that shows you how I store them when I'm not actually wearing them, when I'm not in a season where I need those socks, and then I will come back and explain how I store them when they are in season. So here's a look at all of my stuff, all of my knitted stuff that is stored. And because I'm not wearing hand knit socks right now since it's summer, my hand knit socks are way back there underneath the bed. Oh my gosh, all the honking. In like 2-gallon Ziploc bags, just all in there. But when it is winter time, I will be rearranging, maybe not this drawer, but maybe this drawer, or maybe I will take out all of the short sleeve tops. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Haven't gotten there yet, but I do like to display them by color. But for right now, they are stored safely away in bags. So while I don't have these in a drawer right now, this is kind of how I will store them, and I'll show you how I fold them up in just a second. But I loosely put them by like color families. These are just a bunch of self-striping socks, and then I will put them into the drawer kind of file folder like, vertical like, so that I can see all of them, so that they're displayed and they're beautiful. I'm rocking back and forth here, swinging my hips, displayed and beautiful. But this is how I like to have them stored. So let me show you how I fold them. So folding socks, super easy. So first, you want to have the single sock, each sock, folded, I guess, where you're looking at like a right and left side, right? It's how you would block it. These socks I don't think have ever been worn since I completed them this year. And so they're already like that. And then you put your two socks together so that they're all matched up. And then at the heel, you fold them, okay? So that's like the heel hinge, and they're folded. And then I just fold them one more time in half, like so. And that's how I store them. So there we go. I try to get the toe and the cuff like a little more even, and then fold, and then there you go, Marie Kondo. They go into the drawer just like that. They stay fine, they're paired together, and I think they look really beautiful on display. So there were a few questions about blocking and washing. So first of all, I only block my socks the very first time that I knit them. And the very first time that I wash them individually because I want to see if the dyes run or let some of those dyes run off. But after that, I usually will just wash my socks like colors together. So I will put in a bunch of socks into the bin with the soap, let them soak, rinse them, squeeze them out, and then instead of blocking them when they're on their second, third, fourth wash, what I will do, I think I learned this from Kay, I don't actually put them on blockers, but I will put them in this shape, and I will just start stacking socks on wet socks on top of each other, like so, where they're all like this. And then once I have them all squeezed out with a towel and laid flat like this, then I will hang them wherever I can. I used to have a drying rack. I will hang them like by the heel, or I will just hang them over the shower now because we don't have a drying rack, and I will just hang them like this. That way they dry how I need them to be for me to fold them and put them away. So I only block them the very first time with actual sock blockers, my wooden sock blockers that I love. I can link those for you. You can get them on eBay, they're really great. And then I just do like a cheap method of like laying them flat and hanging them so that they dry in a way that's easy to fold them. Okay, oh, and like I mentioned before, I don't wash them every single time that I wear them. So I will like wear a pair I might even only wear them for half a day if I go out and my feet get kind of hot and sweaty, and then I will let those air out and switch to a different pair of socks. The good part about that, sorry, like yawning, that was a weird yawn. The good part about that is that you're kind of spreading out the wear and tear onto different socks by not just wearing one pair over and over again. So I'll kind of alternate days or half days, and then at the end of maybe 2 weeks, I'll just like take everything that I've worn and wash them and put them back away. So that's how I like to deal with them. Okay, somebody asked about the crocheted socks, but I have not worn them. I've also not made any more because crochet to me is not an easy thing for me to like take out and about. I don't have my crochet sock pattern memorized or anything. It's not that it's bad. It's not that they didn't feel well when I wore them, which I don't know yet. I need to do that. But crochet is just not something easy for me to take out and about, and knitted socks are. That's the best part about knitting socks for me. It's not about wearing them. It's about having a project that I can take on the go. And when I have to really focus on something, I'm not doing that. So I haven't crocheted any more socks since last year. I've just got the one pair. They are beautiful, and maybe now, since I'm in a cold weather climate, I will actually wear those this year. Oh, somebody asked about my favorite sock bag, so let me grab it. So currently, this is my very favorite sock bag. I've been using it over and over and over again for the last like 2 months. It is from Black Pearl Magic, and I got it at a store that's local to me called Yarnia. So if you want to ever snag one from Yarnia, you can try to do that, or directly from her. So what I like about it is that, and I don't even have them in here. Well, usually I have my 50-gram skeins split, and they sit side by side in here. What I have in here right now is one 50-gram skein and one 20-gram skein because I haven't started the other sock yet, but those fit in there as well. And I like to have my sock yarns in my yarn cozies. So this one's a 50-gram with the mock cables, and this one's just a plain 20-gram, and I like having them in here. It just keeps things a little bit more organized. But when I do have both of them in there, I will put one 50-gram here, one 50-gram there, and I just think it looks so nice, and it sits nice because it's got a waxed canvas bottom. So right now my sock can go in the top. This is my current sock whip. Hopefully we'll have another 2020 pair of sock or 2021 pair of socks soon. Goes in the top, zips up. I usually just put it in my purse, but it does have a small handle, just enough to get my hand through, and my hands are pretty small, so it might just be better to hold like that or to hook on to something. But I love that bag right now. I like having a project bag that's small so that it can just squish down into my larger bag. All right, oldest sock versus newest sock, and how they've changed, how I've knitted has changed over time. So these are my very first pair of socks. I still love them. I will probably keep them for a really long time. What is amazing is that they match, and not on purpose. I had no idea that I was to even try to match socks. They match except for the cast on edge. Like even down to the toe, just about, they're matching. And that was just a happy accident. So these are my very first socks. I believe this is a Regia yarn. I don't even know, I didn't check to see if these are on Ravelry. They might be too old to even be on Ravelry. But I remember knitting them from one of those like pure, I think it was called like Knitting Pure and Simple. And they printed, this is before Ravelry, because I had to get a printed pattern for this, and the Knitting Pure and Simple patterns were on orange cardstock. Some of them were on teal, I think, but this one was on orange cardstock. I remember that. And I learned to knit socks at Bliss Yarns at the yarn store, and I don't know what kind of decreasing I was doing here. My Kitchener, oh, these weren't Kitchener. They were closed shut. You're not even gonna be able to see that. Like a hat, you know, where you draw through and cinch them up. So, ooh, yikes. And they're a little big, I think, because I started out on 2s and I believe 64 stitches, and then I did a heel flap and gusset. But I really do like this yarn. I think it's super, super fun, but it's cool to still have my very first pair of socks. And then for some reason, I have like the yarn broke or something. I don't know, but I haven't messed with it. I really don't wear these. They're kind of like my one nostalgia keep because I don't know, I just think they're great. So let's contrast those to my latest pair of finished socks, which are these that I showed at the very beginning. So now I'm knitting my socks on a size 1 needle. I'm using 60 stitches, and I'm definitely making them shorter. Part of it is because of I just don't want to knit, like time-wise, I don't want to knit socks that take that long, and then I just find that I still wear them if they're this length. Overall, these are a little bit smaller, I think. We'll have to put them up side by side. And now I use a different heel. I use the Fish Lips Kiss heel, and I do like doing that. Oh yeah, they're definitely smaller. Getting them lined up here for you. Hold on. There we go. So they're just like a little smaller. Slightly smaller. Well, it looks a little bit different when I have it laid down. It looks like I've also started knitting the foot longer, I guess, by a little bit. I don't know. But I do a square toe now instead of in a Kitchener stitch instead of this, where you draw through it. I think that's really funny. And I definitely use different yarn. This is an indie dyed yarn, super soft, 75-25, whereas this was, you know, it could be opal, but I think it's Regia. I don't know. But I'd say these have held up really nicely. They still look pretty good. What is this? There's like a hole straight through. Who knows? But I still have them. They are probably not 20. I was gonna say 20 years old. No, they're probably more than 10 years old. I don't know, 14 years old, maybe. I don't really remember exactly when I first knit socks or if those got on Ravelry somehow or whatnot, but those are my very first socks. Do you still have your very first socks? It's kind of fun to be able to look at like your very first of something versus where you are now and how much that you've grown. Okay, in general, how are socks holding up to wear and tear? So I did see some socks here that had like some fuzz on them, like these. You can see they're kind of getting a little fuzzy. These are definitely some of my older pairs of socks. Honestly, I wear my socks hard. They really do kind of get messed up when I wear them, and I think it's part body chemistry and part that my feet get hot and sweaty, and so a combination of like heat and moisture and friction are going to make, you know, they rub together, and even though these are superwash yarns, they can still felt a little bit. So there are some socks I've thrown away because they've gotten like a pad in the bottom of them. Let's see, these don't look like that, but well, a little bit. Okay, here, I'll show you. So this is a super 75-25 superwash yarn, and I don't know how much you can see here where some of the stitch definition goes away, because it's getting kind of like felted here from wearing them. And I don't know if this is something that happens to more people than just me, or if it's just me. So help me out here. Does this happen to you? But they definitely kind of get that. Yeah, here we go. And this is just on the bottom. It looks like the bottom of the ball of the heel. Yeah, this one a lot here. And what will happen when I'm wearing them is they're fine now, but like they'll be kind of crunchy, and it's weird. And it's at the bottom of the heel too, a little bit on the bottom of the foot. So I think I wouldn't worry about it, to be honest. Like this would not deter, I hope this doesn't deter anyone from knitting socks, because like knitted items, what's the point if you're not using them? Like they're gonna get a little bit of wear and tear, and by the time they do, you'll have knit something else and it will be okay. That's my personal opinion. I don't need to hang on to every single thing that I've ever knit. That doesn't bother me to get rid of something once it's worn down. At least I guess when it comes to socks, maybe some other things. But yeah, they wear a little bit. I guess I would say like, I mean, because these fur socks, they're probably, I don't know what the blend is of the Regia yarn, but those have held up really, really well. Is there anything else that has really held up? Most of my socks are going to be a 75-25 because that's my preferred yarn. I don't really see anything else that's any different. Some yarns do fuzz more than others, or like, I'm guessing because this is on the back of the leg that I might have worn these in boots. I think I actually did wear them in boots here in New York when we visited in January or in February. So I don't know. They do get wear and tear. It's not really about time. It's more about like how often you wear them. So that's why I kind of like to rotate through my socks. I hope you enjoyed this sock drawer tour and it was interesting. You got all of your sock questions answered. Remember that all of my Ravelry projects are always linked in the description box below. I always include just like my generic project page link. So for anything that you're looking for, you can just head there to check it out. Make sure you're following me on Instagram at Knitty Natty to see all of the knitting that's happening in between episodes. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!